What if the One Piece was a good cup of ramen all along? Japanese commercials seem to be on another level. In 2019 we saw how Rie Matsumoto's carefully coordinated chaos was used for an anime-styled advertisement. Within the bounds of a commercial, or rather a 3-minute long music video, I had already gotten sugar high of the mere eye candy that was provided before realizing I was looking at a commercial for chocolate. Just how much love does a company have for their product to create an entire anime storyline for their advertisements? Well, about as much as the people from Nissin Food Company must have had for One Piece. In 4 short commercials titled Hungry Days, some of the Straw Hats' backstories have been modified to fit in an alternative universe where they can enjoy a good cup of ramen. Images of the pirates turned students' lives flash by as the attentive viewer might recognize some scenes from the manga or anime. While I'm not fully caught up yet to One Piece, I'm currently reading through Dressrosa, I already see a lot of hidden details in the Hungry Days commercials that I just can't wait to explore with you guys. The first commercial focuses on Zoro, who we see lose a kendo match to the beautifully redesigned Mihawk. Struck by his defeat, we see Zoro speedrun his training, which he undergoes in the manga, while a lot of information is relayed in the background. A lot of familiar or even less familiar characters are always lurking around there. While class is in session, Cavendish and Zoro are just minding their own business. And I think this is pretty faithful to Zoro's character, seeing as how whenever the Straw Hats are dawdling on their ship, Zoro is just always training or tending to his swords. The next shot shows Zoro running with an anchor attached to his waist, showing us that this alternative universe is still not entirely realistic, as we'll see explored further in the 4th commercial. While Zoro runs, we see Blackbeard and Whitebeard having a friendly conversation in the background, which tells us that they must be good friends. We also see how Frankie, Brook and Chopper have been humanified and Usopp's nose has been severely nerfed. While Zoro trains in the dojo, we see Dofi, Fujitora and sumo wrestler Jinbei in the background, as well as this tin soldier statue. Zoro trains his cool looking 3-sword style kendo in the mirror, which I can't imagine is legal nor very helpful in an actual match. He reminisces of Kuina, which leads into a beautiful transition shot of him training throughout the different seasons, with more characters making cameos in the background. He falls to the ground on top of the roof into a shot where we see him through a fence, as if he is imprisoned. While he probably states something along the lines of still not being strong enough, we see this suspicious straw hat wearing dude looming over him while snacking on some ramen. The sun comes through the clouds, showing us that with the arrival of this mystery character, Zoro's future looks like it'll be turning for the better. The second commercial revolves around a character that truly deserves to be in the spotlight again, Vivi. With a subdued smile, she stands on the same roof where the last commercial ended, surrounded by the Straw Hat pirates that were there for the Alabasta saga. The next shot shows us Vivi in a train, scrolling her phone for photos she took with her friends. Note how her hair is tied with a pink ribbon in this shot, while she was portrayed with her hair tied up on the shot on the roof. Things like this carry story relevance. Vivi was also wearing her hair tied up in Zoro's commercial, where we see her talking with Crocodile. When Vivi first meets the Straw Hats, she is still going under her alias as Miss Wednesday, acting as a member of Baroque Works. While she may seem to be an enemy at first, she has ulterior motives that align with those of the Straw Hat crew. In the following shot we see Vivi warm up to the crew through their adventures together. Thousand Sunny figure in the background of the classroom is an unmissable detail of which the mere sight just sparks joy in me. When we see Nami fall ill like she did at Drum Island, we see a loudmouth Dr. Kureha, while Vivi seems genuinely concerned for her well-being. All the while Luffy just acts like, just eat this tangerine, girl. Enjoying the rain while training with Dr. Hogback and Co-Pass, followed up by the festival shot, evokes a sense of melancholy. This particular shot is chock full of different Easter eggs. Luffy confronts Crocodile, while Brook, Frankie and Robin seem to be enjoying the festival on their own. Brook seems to have won a fish from one of the festival stands, which I can only assume is a little laboon. What do you know, rhyming. Kinemon seems to be in his element wearing a kimono and Buggy is dancing with all his body parts attached. Law's crew is watching the festival from under the moon, or should I say Fairy Verth, seeing as Enel's arc is flying by. Even more symbolic, Bell flies off into the sky where fireworks are exploding with a ball attached to his talons, which we also saw in Zoro's commercial. The next shot honors one of the best Straw Hat pirates, Garou D. Ak. The next shot portrays a lot as well. While the friendship marks of the Straw Hats are replaced with cup noodles, Ace is captured by Blackbeard's crew. Vivi reminisces some more as she starts her final reminder of her friends. The silent goodbye where they portray their sign of friendship in one last salute. With cup ramen, of course. Nissan knows how to do product placement. The third commercial starts with Nami running late for school. While we don't see Nami running with bread in her mouth, we do see the Saruyama Alliance and Crocus looking out over the sea, while Pell flies by once more, because we all know he didn't actually die. While Nami studies, Law seems to have switched Smoker and Tashiki's bodies. Not facing the camera, though still emanating a very powerful essence, Bon Clay is teaching some characters ballet moves. In a beautiful composition, Nami runs into the restaurant where she seems to be working, appearing to be led by none other than Arlong. She immediately gets scolded while Rayleigh and Shaku lovingly stare at each other. The theme of this restaurant is pretty awesome. While it might seem out of place that the Arlong pirates are serving humans, we see the symbol of the Sun Pirates in the lights, the tray Arlong carries, and Nami's apron. Because Nami has to work directly after school, we see her doing homework after her shift. It's almost as if she's in the lo-fi studying beat girl's room. But we can tell it's actually her room by the maps, the globe and the ship figure, resembling her cartography room. The background of her phone with Bellamere and Najiko is truly a nice touch. Though the insane pressure she has with all this dang homework and Arlong pressuring her, she finally receives Luffy's straw hat, resembling one of the early highlights of the series. And while everything felt pretty lighthearted up until now, the fourth commercial immediately shifts the tension up with an impeding meteor. An enormous explosion that leads into the destruction of the school where all the former commercials took place starts off a new portrayal of my favorite arc, the Summit War. Students storm at each other while supporting their teammates, but none of them seem to be able to topple the absolute giant, that I know is not actually a giant, Edward Newgate. The first opponent that manages to make him struggle is Aokiji, whose presence in these commercials is so grandiose that he actually manifests his Ice Devil Fruit power right then and there. Marco and Kizaru face off, along with Diamond Jozu and Akainu, and next we see Ace, who seems to be freed from Blackbeard's clasp from the Vivi commercial. I guess he didn't want to join their team in this insane PE class activity? Well, Akainu doesn't seem to be happy to see that. Akainu sends Ace flying, while I'm almost tearing up from this one shot of a freaking noodle commercial. While Whitebeard seems to be doing well, he suddenly seems tiny when faced with Blackbeard and his crew. But it was just a trick of the camera. Blackbeard's crew is lifting him up so that it only seems that he's towering over Whitebeard. So Whitebeard doesn't really have to worry. Though he just slowly seems to fade out of the frame, probably just making place for Luffy to shake things up. He presents to us the final cup noodles of the commercials while being carried by a non-blue Jinbei and a non-enormous-faced Ivankov. Man, talking about One Piece is fun. Though it doesn't seem Oda himself was involved directly in this project, the people from Studio Shaft, who were animating these commercials, seem to portray an insane amount of love and appreciation for the original artwork. Rie Matsumoto, who I mentioned earlier, was not involved either, but the sheer density of Easter eggs and cameos made this work seem as though it was one of the many great works of her. It's also crazy how some pieces of the commercials seem to foreshadow events portrayed in other commercials, such as introducing Vivi alongside Crocodile in Zoro's commercial and the Blackbeard pirates capturing Ace in the background of Vivi's commercial. To be able to capture so much pieces of insane amount of content that One Piece has provided over the last few decades in little under 2 minutes of animation altogether, all the while having to present a product which these commercials are meant to sell, is an amazing feat that I can only tip my hat to. And mind you, I've probably missed or skipped over a lot of content that is still hidden in these commercials. But I find that in the past half year or so that I've been enjoying One Piece, this is one of the many magic things about the story. There is so much to it, so many storylines set up way before you even care to notice it, so many characters that aren't sitting still though you're not even there to witness what they're doing. So many more chapters before I'm even caught up, let alone the chapters that are yet to be made from one genius's pen. I absolutely don't regret starting this grandiose adventure, nor do I regret finally making a video again to talk about this amazing piece of animation. Anyways, I've got more manga to read and more ramen to eat. This has been Mark Lucky, see you in another video.